altcoins have not even broken out yet. This total crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin, is very insightful. If you're an altcoin holder, Ethereum, there it is on the monthly looking incredibly bullish, but on the daily chart, Ethereum showing some very big warnings. But that warning comes with such a massively bullish undertone. And if you're not paying attention, you will miss what that bullish undertone is. And we have SUI doing a very good job as kind of like this leading indicator of these shorter term moves. I want to break that chart down. And I want to bring into play the Cardano price action as well on the daily chart because there is a lot to anticipate there. So please hit the subscribe, hit the like on the way in. If you're not a member in our intelligence system, please check out the sale that we have going on right now in the link below. If you're a macro investor, these tools will help you, in my very, very strong opinion. So let's just jump into the total crypto market cap chart, excluding Bitcoin. And then I think out of this whole video, I really think the Ethereum chart, especially on the daily and this resistance that we're running into, I really think the Ethereum chart is offering probably the strongest roadmap right now, even on the short term. And it's a very bullish thing. But I want to start on the total crypto market cap chart. So let's kind of look here. This is what we're waiting for. It's been macro compression for years since the last bull market high. Altcoins have not broken the last bull market high. Do you realize that? And we're waiting for like this breakout moment. If we go back to last cycle, right? We can look at kind of right here was that breakout moment, breaking all-time highs from the 2018 swing high, all-time high, if I bring it up on the chart here. Altcoins making that move, it was obviously a powerful move, and altcoins went crazy from that moment. But going into that move, altcoins were going crazy. But what I want to show you, when we look at like this candle right here, for instance, just getting ready to break, it's February 2021. If you go look at our altcoin risk model over here, sitting at a 28, and just look at it, it's the breakout hasn't happened yet. But if we go and we look at last cycle at that moment in February 2021, you can see we're in the 46 area, 50 area. And right now, if you want to get an idea in terms of how much upside there is for altcoins, this is a very good example because we see how much upside there was for altcoins when it was sitting here in February 2021, getting ready to break all-time highs at a risk score of 50. Well, now we're still preparing to break all-time highs this cycle, and the risk score is 28 on altcoin markets, while altcoin ETFs are still in play to start getting approved. We are starting to see just insane, pro-crypto legislation going through, quantitative tightening slowing down, interest rates about to come down. I just bring in these things up because when we're looking at this chart is so important. Obviously, the data on this chart is very useful, right? The risk scores and all that. But when we start taking into play really what's going on from a macro perspective, the bullishness for crypto space right now, it is there. So we're waiting for the breakout that will not come probably without some consolidations, without some resistance. That's what we need to be prepared for. But I want to go to Ethereum now, and I want to look at Ethereum. This is what we're looking at on the monthly. I've already noted in recent videos the very nice breakout on the monthly chart. What I want to point out is the daily. So we are there. We are at very big daily resistance on this Ethereum chart. And if we want to kind of break this down and kind of explain what this means, it means we might get a short-term pullback, which is very normal for a bull market or even the beginning of a bull market. And I want to exemplify that for you. I want to illustrate it for you. So the resistance, by the way, is obviously, if you've been watching my videos, and if you haven't, this upper trend line of this triangle going back to November 2021, the last bull market high, this is the upper trend line of this massive triangle. The busted pattern is in play. We're waiting for the breakout above the trend line. We are at that trend line. And look at the immediate resistance on the daily chart already. So this is of no surprise. We can see 8 hours still. Let's see what Ethereum does. I don't know. Maybe we can start breaking above and closing a candle above. But we're at immediate resistance right now. But here's what I want to show you. Because on the surface level, it's kind of like, oh man, this isn't good. Resistance. We're going to get rejected. We're going to go back down. We're not going to enter a bull market. This move right here, right? Risk model for Ethereum is sitting at a 52. If we go back and we look at the move that is playing out on the monthly chart, while all this is going on, the short-term resistance that we're looking at, here's this monthly green candle breaking above the 20, above the 50-month moving average. We've already noted the RSI. If we look at this, Ethereum back in November 2020, getting that separation from all of those areas, and I go to a daily chart and we look at November 2020. Here's the example of Ethereum is breaking out into its bull market, right? Because that's what was happening back then. November 2020 is looking very nice, a very nice move from these swing lows in September. Ethereum's doing very well. And by the way, let me measure this. We're looking at like 100% gains, okay? But check it out. November 23rd, 2020 tops out, starts falling. And that dip for Ethereum was over 20%. The reason I'm bringing up this area is because we're in a very similar area in terms of Ethereum breaking out to the upside into its bull market. November 23rd, 2020. What was Ethereum doing in terms of its risk score? November 23rd, 55. So right now you can see in our system, we're at a 52. There is so much upside in store for an Ethereum bull market if you look at last cycle, sitting at a 55 with all technical indicators, price action, momentum, everything on the monthly, on the macro at such a similar area. And you know what's different this time? Look at this. ETF inflows for Ethereum. I mean, the last couple of days, we're looking at over $1 billion. 600 million yesterday, 700 million 2 days ago. That's what's different this time. There is a completely new era of crypto happening right now, and this is the risk model compared to last cycle at this moment. Ethereum is just getting started, and that could come with 20, 30% dips. That's something to anticipate. But right now, and by the way, the purpose of these risk models for a cycle, and you can do this the same for going into a bear cycle for accumulation, but the purpose at this moment for these risk models and our members, what they're doing is to say, hey, alert me when we're at a 72. Shoot me an email and alert when we're at a 92, when we're at 100, so I can start taking profits on these altcoins that we have back here in the system. That's what these risk scores. It's our proprietary system is to identify where it's getting kind of to that point where it's like, all right, it's kind of getting crazy. And if you just look at the data here, we're not there yet. We're still in pre-bull market mode. But we have resistance when we're doing the price analysis. So what could that look like for Ethereum? I mean, for me, we could come back down and test 2,800. We could test these moving averages. The 20 just crossed above the 50, and we have to identify what happens at that moment. I'm not saying that's the next move. I want to watch even how this daily candle closes. Going into the weekend, can Ethereum continue to the upside? There's a lot of pressure, buying pressure right now for Ethereum. We're getting some short-term resistance, but that next target to the upside is kind of up here in this area, the $5,000 area. If we just take this previous swing low, and then I want to go look at SUI and Cardano, or I'm sorry, swing high to swing low, right? We have this higher high area up here, and it's around, I mean, this is up to $5,700 at the 1618, this higher high, right? So along that way, there is a lot to track. We can even just bring this up real quick. This is, I wasn't going to do this, but the last bull market high to bear market low, check out this Fibonacci. This next area, $4,100, probably just a very key area to track for Ethereum. Breaking 4,000, this is the 786 resistance area on the macro. This is Ethereum breaking its own kind of like bull market door areas that we use for Bitcoin. So this move just getting started, but we're in a very key resistance zone, even on a macro cycle perspective, as you can see with that big green rectangle. But let's just see what Ethereum can do in the short term and how it interacts with this resistance. I want to go over and look at SUI because I've been monitoring SUI just for kind of a leading indicator perspective. And I'm not saying it is just absolutely on point, 100% guaranteed working as that indicator, but I am very curious of it. And I've become even more curious since we got this little recent breakout the other day. And if you look at something, a great example is if you look at something like Cardano. Cardano right now is testing this previous swing high that we have back here, right? Right now, this is what's happening, resistance. Well, if you go look at SUI, SUI led that move for the breakout. It broke out and it tested this previous swing high back here days in advance. And this is what I'm saying. We've consolidated now in recent days while something like ADA was kind of breaking out to the upside to kind of catch up to meet this previous swing high. And now it seems like ADA is getting resistance at that swing high. And guess what? This is what SUI did the other day, like 3 or 4 days ago. And so I'm watching SUI to see what it does next, because you can see we're at this kind of like upper trend line on SUI. Maybe we get support here at this upper trend line. If going into this weekend or something, there's support and we start seeing SUI bounce, it's an incredible indicator for altcoins, incredible indicator for Cardano and others. So let's see what SUI does though. Do we fall back below this trend line? Are we meeting the 20 and the 50 and the 200-day moving average? This could be a bigger dip for altcoins. For SUI, we could be back in the 320s, $3.20 area, testing that support. From where we are right now, that could be another 15% dip. And that's on top of the dip we had so far. So this could be total a 20+% dip. Maybe we're testing this lower trend line down here, closer to 30% ultimate dip for SUI. I'm watching SUI as it relates to the next move for coins like Cardano. Look at as I'm recording this video, look how ugly this is. That's an ugly daily wick of resistance. And this move might not be over for ADA in terms of consolidation. We'll continue to track it. But as you put all of these charts together, altcoin charts, Ethereum, SUI, this move and these moves that we're watching, they are very normal for a bull market. Again, just to remind you, go to Ethereum as it's making its bull market move last cycle. Boom, 20% dip, 20% throwback to key moving averages. Is this what is in play right now for Ethereum off of this swing high resistance? Because look at it. 20% dip could bring us right back into the triangle apex, meeting these moving averages. Doesn't have to happen overnight, but it's in play. So this is everything I'm tracking right now. We have to be patient. We have to just accept the fact that in bull markets, we're going to get big dips. We have to mentally prepare. It is what it is. There's never been a bull market where they didn't happen. And if we're going to enter a bull market now, it's likely not going to be the case again. We're going to get dips. So these are my thoughts today as we watch these altcoin and crypto markets. Please hit the subscribe, hit the like. And if you're not in our intelligence system, please give it a shot. Check it out. Would love to just have you on board as a member as we just continue to grow this thing and build this thing. We're working on a lot of different things. And lastly, thank you for 400,000 subscribers. It is officially a new era for crypto and for this YouTube channel. So I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good day and God bless.